Om Vakratunda Mahakaya Suryakoti Samaprabha Nirvignam Kurume Deva Sarvakaryeshu Sarvada Saraswati Namastubhyam Varade Kamarupini Vidyarambham Karishyami Siddhir Bhavatu Me Sada Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha Guru Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastama Vidvishavahai Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. In the last class, we saw the introduction to Saṃskṛtam. We saw how Saṃskṛtam is the mother of all the Indo-European languages and the importance of using the word Saṃskṛtam instead of the anglicized word Sanskrit. And how from the Saṃskṛtam, the words of other languages, particularly English, what is the similarity, how it is derived.
Guruji, your voice is not coming. It's
breaking.
It's not clear.
It is coming a shaking voice, Guruji.
Okay. It'll be all right. Just a minute. Okay, how about now? Is my voice clear now?
Yes, Guruji.
Okay.
Yes, Guruji.
Okay, fine. We saw how it is important in terms of Saṃskṛtam being the mother of all the Indo-European languages. Therefore, anyone knowing Indian language, any Indian language, would be able to see the similarity between the native language and the Saṃskṛtam. Particularly the Bengali and Hindi knowing people, they have the advantage of understanding Saṃskṛtam easily, quickly, because similarities are there. Even the Bengali, the script is different, but still the words and the meanings are all same. So, therefore they have a certain advantage. And the people belonging to the south, like people speaking Tamil, they may have a bit of difficulty because unlike Saṃskṛtam, Hindi or other languages, we don't have different letters for a class consonant. Like, for example, in Tamil we say ka, cha, ta, ta, only one ka. Whereas in Saṃskṛtam there are 4 ka, 4 cha, 4 ta, 4 ta. So 4 are there. In Tamil we don't have that, only one ka. So depending on the word, we use ka or ga or sometimes gha. So depending on the word, depending on what it means, we use. But in other languages, Hindi and other languages, North Indian languages, and in Devanagari, Saṃskṛtam, there's a specific letter. That's why maybe the people speaking Tamil, for them, it may be a bit difficult, but it is not much difficult. You can easily pick up. Now, coming back to this introduction, after the introduction, we started the introduction to the Devanagari script. As I told before, Devanagari is a script. It is a script adopted by the Saṃskṛtam language. We can talk a lot about Saṃskṛtam. Maybe that we will reserve it for the future classes. And the excellent grammar systems. Many grammar systems were there. There were about 9 grammar systems. But now the famous grammar system what is available now is Paninian grammar system. Panini Maharishi. He wrote a grammar text. In fact, it is not a text. It is in the form of a metaphysical language. It's like a computer programming. The whole grammar of the language is covered in the form of the coding language. That's why it is called a metaphysical language. And the name of that book is called, the grammar book is called Ashtadhyayi. It's a beautiful work, highly technical and like the modern computer programming language. How amazingly he had done, unless he had the grace of the Lord, it would not have been possible. So it's a beautiful grammar system. When you will study, you will be amazed at the way he has presented the grammar, the entire grammar system in the form of just 4,000 sutras. Sutra, that is important. That's why it's a metaphysical language. So it's a sutra work. The whole grammar is condensed in a form of sutra. Sutra means it uses minimum number of words. And the words also will have minimum number of letters. So you can unfold it and you will see a wider, deeper meaning. That is the grammar. That is Paninian grammar system. The study of grammar, it helps to sharpen the mind. It makes your mind very alert. A lot of other benefits are there in learning the grammar system. In fact, we are going to learn grammar later according to this Paninian grammar system only. That is the most prevalent and that is the grammar system which is available now. All the other grammar systems were either lost or not studied. Mainly lost, many grammar systems. And Bhagavan Anjaneya, Hanumanji, he was the person who knows all the 9 grammar systems. That is why he is called Nava Vyakarana Pandita. He is a Pandita. He is a scholar. He knows all the 9 grammar systems. Amazing. And it is said in the Ramayana, Bhagavan Rama, he could infer the knowledge of Hanumanji just by the way he inquired. He inquired about Rama and Lakshmana in their first meet. The way he asked them, that question itself gives a deep insight into the knowledge level of Hanumanji, the language knowledge level. So therefore, to study one grammar system itself is difficult, but he knows all the 9 grammar system. Amazing. That is why it's called Nava Vyakarana Pandita. Nava means 9. Vyakarana means grammar. Pandita, a knowledgeable person. Nava Vyakarana Pandita. The last class we saw Varna meaning letter. The word Varna has got many meanings. Varna can mean many things. Varna can mean color. We have the word Varnashrama, Varnashrama Dharma. There Varna means, the modern wrong translation is Varna means caste. Varna is not caste. It's a wrong translation. Varna Ashrama. The word Varna is used in that context also. Varna can mean color. There is another meaning. Shukla Varna, Krishna Varna. Shukla means white, white color. Krishna Varna, black color. So Varna can mean color. Varna can mean letter. Varna can mean sound also. So here we use the word Varna in the sense that which is propelled from the vocal organ. That is a sound which is produced from the vocal organ is called Varna. And the sound is captured in the form of a script. That is also called Varna. So Varna means letter. Mala means garland. The letters which form the garland of the language. So the collection of letters, the alphabets of the language is called Varnamala. Varnamala. And there is another word for letter also, Aksharam. We saw Aksharam means that which cannot be destroyed. Na Aksharati iti Aksharam. That which cannot be destroyed is called Aksharam. Aksharamala. The sound cannot be destroyed because the sounds are there in the Srishti. It is there in the creation. These are the natural sounds which are captured in the form of the script, and the sound is produced by the tongue touching the different parts of the mouth. So therefore, these sounds cannot be destroyed. And sound, Veda is a sound. The whole Veda, Chatur Veda, it came out from the Lord. So it's a sound. Therefore, sounds cannot be destroyed. Sound, I mean the Veda. Vedas are with the Lord. So, therefore, Varnamala otherwise called Aksharamala. You can call by any name. Then, in this Aksharamala, we are going to see first the vowels. The number of vowels, according to some people, may differ, but for our class, for our study, we are going to take the vowels to be 13 in number. There are 13 vowels in Saṃskṛtam. They are called Swaraha. If you can't read Devanagari script, you won't be able to read, assuming that you are totally new to Saṃskṛtam. That's why I have given the English transliteration. This is according to the international standard. S-V-A-R-A-H. Swaraha. You have to read like that. Swaraha. The H is Swaraha. Ha sound. We'll be learning that, how to pronounce that later. Swaraha, otherwise called Swaravarnaha. Swaraha, Swaravarnaha. Swaraha is plural, vowels. If it is only one vowel, then Swaraha or Swaravarnaha. Swaraha, plural, vowels. Swaravarnaha, plural, vowels. Otherwise called Achaha. Achaha is a technical name to denote all the vowels. You can note this word. A-C-A-H. Achaha. This is international standard, therefore you have to read it as Achaha, not Akaha. CA is not Ka, it is Cha. That is international standard, transliteration standard. Swaraha, the A with a stroke at the top, it is long. A, Swaraha. And H is Swaraha. That H in Saṃskṛtam is in the form of the colon, what you see, the colon. Colon is called Visarga. It's a technical name. You will see what it is, Visarga. The colon is pronounced as Swaraha and it is represented in English by the letter H with a dot below. Can you all hear me? Is my audio clear?
Yes, Guruji.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Now these vowels, you can remember the names, Swaraha, Swaravarna. These are the basic information which you need to know all the way. Later when we see advanced topics, these words will be used. That is why these words are very important. Swaraha, Achaha. These words are important. Achaha is a technical name. You will see the importance of this word Achaha later. Later we will be using the word only Achaha, not Swaraha. Swaraha in the beginning. Later when we study advanced topic like Sandhi and other topics, we will use the word Achaha. Now this Swaraha vowels are classified into simple vowels and conjunct vowels. Simple and conjunct. Now we'll see the simple vowels. I will show you how to write also. So you please have a scribbling pad and a pen so you can also write it. Now the simple vowels, otherwise called Samana Swaraha. English transliteration you can read S-A-M-A, Samana Swaraha. Samana means same. What is same? We will see. What is same? We are going to see that. Otherwise called Amishra Swaraha. Mishra means mixture. Amishra is there is no mixture. You know, Mishra. People have the name Mishra, Amit Mishra. And cricketer was there, Amit Mishra. Some people have the name Mishra. What is Mishra? Mishra means mixture. Human beings are called Mishra. You know why human being is called Mishra? Because human being is a mixture of Papa and Punya. Papa Punya Mishra. That is why it's called Mishra. If you have the combination of Papa and Punya, then only you can take Janma as a human being. If it is only Papa, then Adho Janma, lower birth. If it's only Punya, then higher birth, like Devas, etc. Where there is a mixture sufficient or the required, the combination of Papa and Punya to take a human birth, that person, that human being is called Mishra. Papa Punya Mishra. So Mishra. So it means mixture. So here Amishra Swaraha. Amishra is Na Mishra. There is no mixture. That is why same. Samana. Amishra is opposite of Mishra. A Mishra. Like in English we have the negative friend, unfriend. That un is opposite. Similarly in Saṃskṛtam we have a. A is opposite. Like dharma, adharma. Dharma, adharma. Dharma, righteousness. Adharma, unrighteousness. So the negative un in English, in Saṃskṛtam it is a, adharma. Kshara, that which can be, which are subject to destruction. Akshara, indestructible. Na kshara, akshara iti. So here it is amishra. It means samana. There is no mixture. There is sameness. What sameness? We are going to see that what sameness is. Now let us see the vowels one by one. So we will see. The first one is a. You can see the letter. You can see the letter a. Can you all see? A.
Yes, sir.
Okay. This letter a. Then we are going to see one by one. Just we are going to see how to write also. Just I will show you the letters now. If there is no background noise on your side, you can unmute and repeat also. Say a. That is the first letter. Every language except English begins with the letter a. English is a peculiar language. It begins with the letter A, but all the other languages, many Indian languages begin with the letter a, because that is the first letter, first sound that comes out from the mouth of the child. Okay, now this is a. The next one is right? What is the difference between these two?
Is in
Huh? Anyone?
Short and long sound.
Short and long. Is short. What is short? What does it mean short?
Matra is less. Matra is
What is matra?
the duration of the sound, the prolonging sound.
Is the
Time
time,
pronounce.
the time taken to pronounce a letter is called a matra. Like we have, it's a unit of dimension, unit of measurement. We have minutes, we have seconds, we have hour per time. Similarly, for the pronunciation of letter, we have the unit which is matra. So if it is 1 unit of time, it is short vowel. We're going to see that. If the unit of time is 2, 2 means 2 seconds. If I is 1 second, A will be 2 seconds. It is relatively longer, lengthened, elongated. That is called it's a long vowel. So the next one, E. This is E. The long form of E is E. Just see the letters. We are going to see how it is to be written. Then the next one is U. The longer form of U is U. The next one is R. It is R, like the word, like the sound in the word Rishi. Rishi, Ritam, Rutu. This the running Rutu is Varsha Rutu. Now what Rutu is running is season. Varsha Rutu. Rutu. The longer form of R is R. The next one is, it is a bit difficult. It is L. L. Don't worry about this letter. This is not much used in the language. L. Only a few places you will see. This is L. We are going to see from where these sounds come. What are the places of pronunciation of these vowels? Now, these vowels, how many vowels are there? These 9. These 9 vowels are called simple vowels. Samana Swaraha, otherwise called Amishra Swaraha. Then the conjunct vowels, otherwise called diphthongs in English. In Saṃskṛtam it is called Samyukta Swaraha or Sanyukta Swaraha. Samyukta means conjunct. Otherwise called Mishra. You see Mishra, mixture. Mishra Swaraha. So simple vowels are called Amishra. Conjunct is called Mishra. What are those Mishra Swaraha? Ye. It's a long vowel. Please note. In the simple vowels, we saw a, I, u, r, l. There, a, I, u, r, and l. These 5 are short vowels. A, I, u, and r. These are long vowels. So 5 short vowels, 4 long vowels, 5 plus 4, 9. 9, total 9 simple vowels. Whereas here, in Sanyukta Swaraha, A is a long vowel. Doesn't have short A. Please note that, important. There is no A. Short A is not there. In Tamil we have A, but in Saṃskṛtam there is no short A. Therefore, this is A. The 2 unit of time should be there. And the next one is I. This is I, A, and I. Sometimes people wrongly understand A. No, this is not A. This is A, I. The next one is O. Last one is OU. These 4 are conjunct verbals and they are long vowels. There is no short form for these 4 vowels. Please note. A, I, O, O. How many vowels? 4. Simple vowels 9. 9 plus 4, 13. These are the 13 vowels. Understand? Any doubt in this? If yes, please unmute and ask. If no, we will proceed.
The writings are very small.
Yes, we'll show you that writing. Writings, the screen only you can see this much. We'll see. I'll show you later. The writings will be bigger. Now let us understand what are simple and what are conjunct. Why it is called simple. Please note, simple vowels have the same sound from the beginning to the end. What does it mean? It means the sound which is produced as its place of pronunciation. Any sound which is produced from the mouth must have the place from where the sound is originated, right? So that place of sound is constant. It is same from the beginning to the end of the pronunciation. For example, if you say the letter A or A, anyone, A or A, the sound comes from the throat. The sound must come from the throat, not just opening your mouth and expelling the hair. Ha, no. Please understand, there is a difference between just opening your mouth and just expelling hair. Ha, that is different. A, the sound coming from the throat is different. Okay. So, A and Ha, these are different. Both A and Ha, that is just opening the mouth and expelling air, that is Ha, that's a consonant we are going to see later. That is also produced from the throat only, but there is a difference. So here, the letter, the first letter, A, the sound comes from the throat. The sound which comes from the throat is called guttural in English. It's called guttural, Guttural, guttural. In the books you will see the sounds which come from the throat are called gutturals. In Saṃskṛtam is called Kantya. You will see that later, Kantya. So the letter, for example, A or A, the place of pronunciation from the starting to the end, it is same. That is why they are called simple vowels. A, I, U, R, L. These are simple vowels because they have the same sound. Same sound means the place of pronunciation is same. From the beginning to the end, it is same. Whereas for a conjunct, it is not so. Because the sound begins with one part from one place, from one place of the mouth and ends with another place. When you say A, we saw 4 conjunct vowels, A, I, O, Au. A, when you say, the sound starts from the throat and ends with the palate. What is palate? The upper part of your mouth is called palate. The upper part is called palate. That is, when you say the letter E, the tongue is parallel to the upper part of the mouth. Either parallel or just have a slight contact, or it will touch the palate. For uttering certain sound, the tongue will touch the upper part. We will see that later. That is called palate. I will show you the picture also, what is palate. So, A is a combination of the sound A and E. Both the sound combinations, both the sound are combined in the letter, in the pronunciation of the letter A. So therefore, letter A, for example, begins with the throat and ends with the palate. Beginning from the throat, ends with the palate. So therefore, the place of pronunciation is not same. It is not constant throughout the time of pronunciation, beginning with one place, ending with another place. Therefore, it is called conjunct verbals. So, example A is a combination of the sound which is produced from the throat, which is A, and ending with the sound produced from the palate, which is E. So, combination of the sound A and E is A. Therefore, now you know E is palatal because it is produced from the palate. P-A-L-A-T-L. The sound which are produced from the palate is called palatal. The sound which are produced from the throat is called guttural. The sound which are produced by rounding your lips, say for example, oo. When you say oo, you can see, just watch yourself, the lips will be round. With rounded lips only you can say oo, not with your mouth closed or widely open, you cannot say oo. The lips have to be in round shape, oo. So, O is a conjunct. Why? Because the sound starts from the throat and ends with the lips. So, for the pronunciation of the sound O, since it involves a combination of two sounds, that is, it has different places of pronunciation. Beginning has got one place, ending has got another place. Therefore, O is also a conjunct vowel. So A, O, similarly I and O. I is a combination of the sound produced from the palate and the conjunct vowel A. A plus A will be I. A plus O will be O. We will see later. It will become much clear when we see more and more example. When we learn about the places of pronunciation, it will become more and more clear. And I will tell you each place of pronunciation also. Now, how to write the letters? Starting with the first vowel, you can see how it should be written. You can see the stroke 1, 2, and 3, and one vertical stroke will be there. In Saṃskṛtam, you will see a vertical stroke and a stroke at the top. That is 4 and 5, like in the form of a T will be there. So you will see this always, almost in all the letters you will see. So this is the simple vowel A. And I can show you another one where it is nice, neatly. I can share with you that how to write this letter. Can you see the screen? A is equal to A. Can you see that?
Yes, Maharaj.
Now, how to write, I will show you. You can see that. Write a few times. You have a scribbling pad with you, please, and pen. You can write. This is the letter A. This is how you have to write. You will see it will write many times. In case if you have difficulty, you can watch this and write. So, okay, this is now let me ask you, is it a short or a long?
Short, Maharaj.
It's a short vowel. What is its place of pronunciation?
Guttural, from the throat.
From the throat. The sound is called guttural.
Okay.
The place of pronunciation is throat.
Okay. Okay, Maharaj.
Right?
Okay, Maharaj.
So, please note this. The place of pronunciation is throat and the sound produced from the throat is called guttural. Not only I is guttural, there are consonants, other letters also we will see. They are also gutturals. Okay, so this is a simple vowel or conjunct vowel.
Simple vowel.
Why it is called simple vowel?
The sound is same from the beginning to the end.
That's why it's called simple vowel.
Yeah.
And the sound is same from the beginning to the end, and the place of pronunciation is throat. Therefore, this letter is guttural, has got guttural sound. Okay. Now you know how to write this.
Yes, Maharaj.
Okay. Then back to the slide. So this is the first letter. We have in Tirukkural Agara Mudala Ezhuthalla. Similarly in Saṃskṛtam also we have the translation of Tirukkural. Akarat eva niryanti samastani aksharani vai. Akarat eva, from the letter akara only, all the other letters have come into existence. Agara mudala ezhuthalla. Tata eva ishvarat eva charachara prapancham jayate iti. The same way this jagat, this entire world has come into existence from the Lord. So, as the letter, from the letter akara, this is a, all the other letters have come, so too the entire prapancha has come into existence from the Lord. This is what Tirukkural first shloka is. Agara mudala ezhuthalla adi bhagavan mudattray ulagu. The same thing we have in Saṃskṛtam also. In fact, it is a translation. Akarat eva niryanti samastani aksharani vai. Charachara prapanchoyam ishvarat eva jayate iti. This prapancha, which is chara achara, which consists of moving and non-moving things, all has come into existence from the Lord. Okay, this is the first letter. The next one is, you can see, it's a longer one, longer version of a. This is also, okay, let me ask, this is a simple or a conjunct? Simple. It is simple because the place of pronunciation is same throughout and the place of pronunciation is throat. Therefore, this is also guttural. What is the difference between this, that is short, and the long a? One extra stroke is there. Number 5, you can see, right? One extra stroke is there. So that is a difference. Can all of you follow this? If you have difficulty, you can let me know.
Yes, sir.
Rajeshwari ji, can you follow?
Yes,
sir.
Guruji.
Okay. Now the same thing I can show you here. Please write along with this in the screen how it shows. You can write, and when you please practice, you practice saying the letter loudly. You practice each letter 25 times, and whenever you write it, say it loudly. Like that you have to write. Because later when you learn other letters, so it will be clear. You will not get confused with that. And we are going to see consonants, consonant vowel combination, and conjunct consonants. And we are going to do the reading practice. So it's a long way to go. In the beginning, this is called level 1 Saṃskṛtam, basic. It will take some time. So for that, you need to be familiar with the letters and the sound. So whenever you practice, you practice saying the letter, pronouncing the letter loudly, and make sure the sound comes from the appropriate place of pronunciation. This is a. The sound comes from throat. Ucharanam is very important in Saṃskṛtam. If you wrongly pronounce, it can mean different. It can mean different. Like for example, sakala or shakala, both are different. Sa and sha. Sakala means sakala. One is parts, other one is total. But if you write in Tamil or in transliteration is there, in English transliteration it is got some difference. Otherwise, it is sakala, shakala will be same when you the pronunciation. If you don't understand that the very the fine distinction, then it will pronounce it the same, and it can mean different. One is sakala is sakala, shakala. One is total, other one is parts. Are we talking about the total or about the parts? Therefore, the sound is important. So, please note this. The next one is, next letter is, you can see, this is E. Another thing is, in the previous one, you saw the vertical stroke to the right side of that makes it long. It is not always like that. Sometimes, like in this letter, you will see this is a shorter E. The longer E is not just a vertical stroke to the right, it will be at the top. We are going to see that. For the letter A, the longer one is one more stroke to the right, but here it will be different. We will see that. This is E, very simple to write. You know to write the letter A, in the English alphabet, S. First you write T and then S, then small one stroke C and D at the bottom. You get this. We'll see how to write this. You can see each letter you can practice writing at least 25 times. Now, this letter E, what you see in the screen, how to write. E is pronounced from the palate. Please note, it is pronounced from the palate, therefore it is called palatal. So, the property of the letters you must be knowing slowly now. The letter A is simple vowel, number 1. Samana swaraha, otherwise called amishra swaraha, number 1. It is a short vowel. It is produced from the throat, therefore it is called guttural. Similarly, the letter E, which is a short vowel, it's a short vowel. It is produced from the palate, therefore it is called palatal. Okay. The properties, these are the properties. And you will see the properties list getting bigger and bigger slowly. It starts with simple property. This is E. Can you understand E? How to write this? How to say it also? E. Like the word, like the sound in the word. Ishta, Ishta Devata. Ishta Devata. Or in the word like
Ikshuhu.
Ishuhu or Ikshuhu. Ishuhu.
Indriya.
Ishuhu. Ishuhu is arrow. Indriya, you can say, detect the word Indriya. Indriyani, yes. Sense organs. Indriyani. This is short E. Now the longer version of E. So longer version has got 2 matras. There you can see the longer version will have a stroke at the top, number 3. The stroke what you see at the top. If you add it to the short E, a stroke number 3 what you see in the screen, it becomes long E. So it is E. The time must be given 2 units of time. 2 units. It means if shorter E has got 1 second, the longer E must have 2 seconds. If shorter E has got 1 minute, the longer E should have 2 minutes. If short E has got 1 hour, long E will have 2 hours. So it is double. Okay. That's why I said simply unit of time. How do you measure the unit of time? Either by the time taken to blink your eye, or the time taken to make, the mushti sound. That in Tamil also we do the same thing. In all the other languages like that only. That blinking of the eye, that's a unit. So if it is 1, then it is short. If it is 2, then it is long. So now how to write this? Simple one. You know it very well now. Short E, you know. The long E is one small stroke at the top. You can see E. So what are the properties of E? Number 1, it is a long vowel. It means it takes 2 units of time. Fine. And it is a simple vowel, Samana Swaraha, otherwise called Amishra Swaraha. The sound is produced with the palate, and therefore it is called palatal. So these are the properties of this letter E. Okay. Then see the next one. Moving to the next letter.
Excuse me, Maharaj, I have a doubt.
Yes,
Maharaj, yeah. So the entire tongue has to touch the palate, or the tip of the tongue should touch the palate while pronouncing this letter?
Not tip of the tongue. We will see that when it touches the tip of the tongue touching not the palate, it touches the roof of the mouth, we will say.
Okay.
That is called cerebral. We are going to see it will come later.
Okay, Maharaj, thank you.
This not really, when you say E, in fact, the tongue doesn't touch the palate. You just pronounce E and see whether it touches the palate. Does it
No,
touch?
no, E, no.
You say cha. Let us say cha. Does it touch the palate?
No, Maharaj.
No,
Cha,
you say
no.
cha, not sa. Cha.
Cha,
Does it touch the palate or not?
no.
Cha, it touches.
Cha,
Not sa. Cha. Chaturthi.
Chaturthi, okay.
Cha, you say cha.
Okay.
Does
Cha.
it touch or not?
Yeah, I can do the both ways without touching, intentionally, without touching or touching.
Okay, there's a difference. Cha is a consonant that you will see the tongue will be touching the palate, or the tongue will be almost parallel to the palate.
Okay.
Here it is parallel to the palate. E. It doesn't touch really.
Okay, Maharaj.
That's a fine distinction. That is, we will learn that later. That's called Shiksha. In Taittiriya Upanishad, the first thing is for a student when he learns, first he is taught these vowels, these letters. It's called Shiksha. Shiksham ya akyasya varnasvaraha matra balam samasantanaha ityukta shikshadhyayaha. For the brahmachari who learns the Veda, first thing the Veda teaches the letters, the varnas, how to pronounce, and the matra, everything, because it's going to learn Veda, chanting. So, Shastram teaches first beginning with the letters. It's called Shiksha. That's why it's the first chapter of the Taittiriya Upanishad. It's called Shikshavali. So we have got Shiksha Sutrani. We are going to see later Shiksha Sutrani. So the knowledge of the places, the place of pronunciation, that is also important. We will see slowly one by one. Anyway, I have given you the details now. You know it. Later we will see in the form of a
Thank you.
translator. So this is E. The next one is, so now guttural palatal is over. That is the sound which the vowel sound which can come from the throat is pure. That is only from the throat. The sound which can come is A. Only from the palate, the sound which can come is E. You make it short or long, that is different. If you make it short, it is short vowel. Long, long vowel. The only sound which can come by rounding your lips, only from the lips, is oo. No other sound is possible. Rounding your lips, you cannot say ka, you cannot say a. Try, it won't come. Rounding your lips, you try to say e, it won't come. When you round your lips, you can say only oo. So every letter has got distinct place of pronunciation, and therefore the knowledge of the place of pronunciation is important because it's where it's connected to where it involves chanting. So akshara shuddhi is important. Akshara shuddhi means akshara, the knowledge of the place of pronunciation. You should be clear about that. Only then the right sound can be produced. Okay, therefore it's important. This is oo. Very simple to write. You know the numeral 3. You write 3 and put a straight line to the top. Becomes oo. This is number 1. This is a simple vowel. This is a short vowel. These are produced. The sound is produced by rounding the lips, and the sound is called labial because it comes from the lips. Therefore, it is called labial. 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 How to write this? That you can see. So 4 letters we have learnt, and this is the 5th letter. So a, e, then comes oo. Okay, write the numeral 3 and 1 stroke at the top. This in the screen you can see it is extending. That extension is not required. You can stop. That's just that. Just write 3 as much as required 3. Similarly for the letter a also, you can stop with the like as you write the numeral a. That you can stop. You don't have to extend like this. No, if the extension goes to the right, that is not required. Anyway, this is oo. That's why you can see in the PowerPoint will be different, slightly different, not much. In the PowerPoint also it is extended. The stroke B, that extension is that much is not required. You can stop. In fact, before that also, like the numeral 3, that is oo. Now the longer form of oo. Oo, as I said, it is short. The longer one will be oo. What is the difference? One extra stroke. Number 2, what you see in the screen. This is oo. The unit of time is 2. Other properties remain same. The time unit is 2 times of the short vowel. So oo. Okay. You can see how to write this oo. First you write oo, then 1 more stroke to the right. That becomes oo. This is not om. Okay. Don't confuse with om. In fact, om is a symbol. It is not a letter really. Om is a combination of three sounds or vowel and consonant combination. O and makara. Akara, ukara, makara, yogo. Melanam or the combination is called om. Om is what you see when they write. It's a symbol. It is not a syllable. Okay. Syllable will be different. We'll see that later. This is oo. Don't confuse with om. This is oo. Now, how many simple vowels are over? 6. How many are in total? How many vowels are the simple vowels?
9.
9.
9 vowels. So 3 are over. Now the next one is r. This is a bit difficult. I will show you how to write this. I can send you through WhatsApp how to write also. My way of writing is very simple. That's how I write. Here, even if I show you the practice how to write this, it's a little complicated. But I write it another way. It's very simple only. That's also okay. So this is, see, this is r. Follow the stroke, the sequence of stroke. Where it starts, and the next stroke, the subsequent stroke, and where it ends. This is the first stroke. Then second stroke. Then third one is the vertical stroke. Fourth one to the right, and then is C, small c, and one at the top. This is R. Like, as I said, it is pronounced in the word Rishi or Ritu. Okay, this is R. Now, you tell me from where the sound comes R. Does it come from the throat? Does it come from the palate? Does it come from the lips? No.
No, it is cerebral.
The sound comes that by the tongue touching the roof of the mouth. The palate is the frontal portion of your mouth is called palate. And the palate is curved, right? And the top of your mouth is the roof. That is called cerebrum. But cerebrum, cerebral, it is there in the brain. That is different. This is different. So the tongue will be folded. Folded means not like a mat. It is just folded and touches the roof of the mouth. R. So R, the tongue touches the roof and the air is expelled. You get the sound R. Therefore, this is called cerebral. The place of pronunciation is the roof of the mouth, and the sound is called cerebral. It is a short vowel, Samanasvaraha. It has got 1 unit of time. Okay. This is R. Is it difficult to write?
No, Maharaj.
No,
you-
sir.
You can see the
No, Guruji.
sequence how to write this. You know how I generally write is. Here you saw the vertical, so the first stroke is like a C. I don't write like that. I just put V. First you write V to the left, and one vertical stroke. Then other stroke you just follow that. I can show you how to write this through WhatsApp. Later I'll send you that. If you find this difficult, you can write like that. It's very simple. Okay. So this is R, short vowel. Now, how to write the longer form of R? The same R you write it, short one, and to the right you can add one more C, that is stroke number E. You can see E, one is D, D is C. The C is, and I'm not talking about the letter C, the stroke C, not the marking C here. To the right you can see the D. D you can see. What is D? That's the stroke C. How you write, that is a stroke. One more you add it, that is E. So this is the longer form of R. I can show you how to write this. So this is R, the longer one. The property is same as the short one. The place of sound is the roof of the mouth. That is therefore the sound is called cerebral. You can see one more stroke. This is what I said. C, 2 stroke. And it takes two units of time. Therefore, it is a longer one. All these are simple vowels. Samanasvaraha. Among the simple vowel, this is a longer one. Long vowel. Dirgha svaraha. Dirgha svaraha. You will see dirgha, hrasva, all those Saṃskṛta words later. So this is R. Okay. I think this is simple. If you know R, this is simple. R is difficult, then this becomes difficult. Since we know R, therefore this is simple. Then the next one is after R, the next one is the last simple vowel is L. This also it's like the numeral 3. You can see the numeral 3 and one T stroke, T at the top, then one stroke at the bottom C. This is L. Now, this L, the sound comes, does it come from the throat? No. Does it come from the palate? No. Does it come by the tongue touching the roof? No. Does it come from the lips? No. Now, what is left out?
Dental.
Only teeth is left out. Therefore, teeth means what? Teeth is,
Tongue.
see, for the pronunciation of any letter, tongue is important. Minus tongue, there is no sound. How the sounds are produced? The tongue touches the different parts of your mouth and you expel air from the mouth, sound is produced. In fact, it's like playing a flute. You are playing the flute. When we speak, it is nothing but playing the flute, like playing a flute. The tongue touches different parts of the mouth and sound is produced. So now for this letter, where the tongue should touch which part of the mouth? The tongue must touch just above the upper teeth. Above the upper teeth. Back, okay, it's back of the upper teeth. You can't touch the front, then sound will not come. Back, just above the upper teeth. Just above the upper teeth, the tongue touches and the sound produces called dental. So, therefore we say the place of pronunciation is teeth and the sound is called dental. Okay, and this is a simple vowel and this is a short vowel. Please note, is it a short or long? This is a short. What is the longer form of this vowel? L?
L.
No, there is no longer form. Okay, note that.
Okay.
We said only 9 simple vowels. Already 9 are over.
Okay.
Therefore, there is no longer form. It's very important this. You may see later why it is important. When we learn further, later in other advanced topics, you'll see why it is important. It doesn't have a longer form. Please note that. So, I, U, R, and L. This is very important. This is a short vowel. How to write this? Let us see. You can see here how to write this. L. Please follow the same sequence if you are practicing writing. I hope all of you are totally new to Devanagari script. I assume if not, but some of you may be knowing and some of you may be totally new. How many of you are totally new to Devanagari script? Just say yes, unmuting your mic.
Guruji, we know up to vowels and other things, but the later part of letters we get confused.
You know the letter, but do you know the place of pronunciation and the importance of it?
Yes, Guruji.
Okay.
We know how to write, but we don't know where from the sound comes and all these details we get confused.
That's what that's important is. Just not about writing, not just about imitating the sound. The knowledge of the place of pronunciation is very important. Okay, that's a big topic. That's a separate topic, in fact. But minimum knowledge of the place of pronunciation is important.
Yeah.
When you pronounce a letter, 2 things are involved. Technically, one is the place of pronunciation. Second one is effort. It's called prayatna in Saṃskṛtam. So place of pronunciation is called sthana and the effort is called prayatna. So the knowledge of the place of sthana, otherwise called asya, both mean the same, asya. And the knowledge of the effort. The effort are of 2 types. One is internal effort, other one is external effort. So it's a big topic. When we study Vyakaranam starts with this only.
Yeah.
With the knowledge, with the Shiksha Sutra, with the Shiksha. Shiksha means this is what Shiksha. Akshara Abhyasa. Akshara Abhyasa means not just learning to how to write, how to pronounce it, out from where the place of pronunciation is. And when it comes to Vedic chanting, Akshara Shuddhi is very important. So therefore the knowledge, unless you have the knowledge of place of pronunciation and the effort and all, how can Akshara Shuddhi be there? So therefore it's important. So even though you may be knowing, I may be repeating the same thing, but for the sake of the class, I have to assume you're all totally new. Okay. Is it okay?
Yeah.
Like there was a Tamil teacher, I think Deepaji may be knowing, in that Ma Nandan, I think, in TV program, one person used to come teaching Tamil long back. I think it's no more now. No audience will be there, but he will be teaching simple letters and all. Assuming the audience is there, every letter it will explain how to write, how to pronounce. That's, I think I'm doing that same thing now. Even though you all may be familiar with the letters, still to get more knowledge about that, like a simple vowel. And see, the classification is based on the place of pronunciation. If the place of pronunciation is same, it is called simple. If it is different, it is called conjunct. That is number one. Then if the time of pronunciation is 1 unit, then it is called short vowel. If the time, the unit of time, it's 2 units, it's called long vowel. That is number 2. That is one way of classification. So you can see the classification of vowels. It's classified in 2 ways. One is simple and conjunct. The second classification is short and long. Simple and conjunct classification is based on the place of pronunciation. And short and long classification is based on the time taken to pronounce the letter, the vowel, right? Now, another thing. We are talking about the time. We are talking about the short and long. Is it applicable? Does it applicable for consonants? Yes or no? Yes or no?
Yes.
Who said yes?
Kalyani Maharaj.
Kalyaniji, do you speak Tamil?
Yeah.
In
Yes,
Tamil,
sir.
what are consonants called in Tamil?
Nedin.
No. Consonants. I'm asking.
உயிரெழுத்துக்கள்
Uyirelthu is vowels.
மெய்யெழுத்துக்கள்.
What is mei?
Udal.
What is it? Does body...
காங்காச்சாங்கா is
That's okay.
மெய்யெழுத்துக்கள்.
That's okay. That's fine. Meyyelthukal. What is mei? It means body, right? Shariram. Does shariram function independently or does it require life?
It requires
It requires
Life.
life. Without life, what is shariram is? It's a dead body, right? Becomes a preta sharira. Becomes a dead body. Similarly, vowels are like the life. Without vowels, consonants cannot be pronounced. Okay. Therefore, the short and long, it is applicable only for the vowels, not for the consonants. We're going to see later in the topic of consonants. Consonants are dependent. Vowels are independent. Vowels can be pronounced independently, doesn't require any support, whereas consonants requires the support of vowels. Therefore, vowels only can be classified short and long, not the consonants, right? When you say ka, ka, ki, ki, we are going to see later. Ka is a, ka is a, the vowel is there. Ki, e is there. Ki, the vowel e is there. Minus e, you cannot pronounce a consonant. So e is long. Why? Because the ki is long. Why? Because e is long. Understand? So therefore, the long and short classification is only for the vowels. Please understand this. Since you know in your native language, mother tongue, they're also the same thing. So in any language, In any language, the short and long is only for the vowels, not for the consonants. That's why consonant is called Mei in Tamil. Body. Body, the function of the body depends on the life, which are the vowels. Minus vowel consonants cannot be pronounced. Okay, fine. So we have seen today simple vowels and conjunct vowels. We will see. We will see in the next class. That is on coming Sunday. Right?
Okay, Guruji.
If you have any doubt, you please ask. Kinchit samshayam asti va? Asti va? Asti. Please unmute your mic and you can say yes or no. No doubts. Okay.
No doubt. No doubts. No doubts. No doubt.
Please try to remember the place of pronunciation, the classifications, whatever we learned. Our class will proceed at this pace, slow pace. Slowly we will pick up the pace. We have only one class a week, right? So,
Thank you.
so we can stop here. Om Purnamadav Purnamidham Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om Dhanyavada.
धन्यवाद
धन्यवाद
Dhanyavad, Guruji.
धन्यवाद Thank you so much.